Hi, welcome to this edition of Ask Us. As a reminder, you can watch all previous sessions either on Doctolib.engineering or on our YouTube channel. Nice to have you all. Today, this session is not about tech, but only about product. If you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe and share this video with everybody that could be interested in speaking about product or Doctolib or healthcare or anything else related that we're going to discuss. So what about this one? Last session was about open source at Doctolib. So we discussed a bit about what we were using as open source product, what we were contributing to, and how was our strategy to help fertilize the open source community. Today, we are going to discuss about product, but not only product, the product in a healthcare world and agility in developing a product in the healthcare world. And to that extent, and to discuss that concrete topic, with me today are Ludivine and Per. Ludivine, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ludivine. I've been working at Doctolib since 6 years now, and I'm currently lead product manager, which means I'm basically managing several product team on a daily basis on different topics. And I'm very happy to be here with you to talk about agility in healthcare.
Super cool. Per, what about you?
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Welcome to the audience from my side as well. I'm Per. I'm 35 years old. I live in Berlin. Before Doctolib, I was working for 10 years at Volkswagen, digitalizing the user experiences of cars. Last as a head of product of an international customer portal and founded my own startup. I joined Doctolib in January 2020. Since then, I'm responsible for the interoperability of Doctolib products. For example, making sure we are synchronized with third-party application in use in the practice or in the hospital. As a senior product manager, I lead another product manager, and both of us, we are working as PMs in a feature team, each consisting of 5 to 6 developers, an engineering manager, and to complete, we have a designer, user researcher, and a data analyst we're working with. And yeah, I'm more than happy to share today insights from us, from Doctolib, and the way we work with you.
Thank you. I'm really happy to have you both today in this session. I think you're the perfectly right person to discuss product and agility at Doctolib. So thank you for participating into this session. Okay, we have a few questions we got in advance. If you are currently watching the live on YouTube, you can send your questions through the live chat, and we are going to try to answer those if they match today's topic. Okay, so let's move on to questions. First, I'd love to discuss a bit about the product and our users. But before discussing about the users, I think we should discuss a bit about the domain, healthcare. Per, could you please explain a bit what is healthcare and the healthcare world?
Yes, sure. Thank you. So the fundamental purpose of healthcare, in my understanding, is to enhance quality of life. Often the healthcare model, like how we are insured, is meant if people talk about it. As the way we are insured can vary from country to country a lot. We as people are all affected by healthcare and the quality of healthcare which is offered.
Yeah, everybody is affected by healthcare or impacted by healthcare. How can you map out your customers, users at Doctolib?
Yes. So generally speaking, Doctolib addresses the entire healthcare ecosystem. Doctolib is one brand with multiple product lines, all supporting the different user journeys, from user booking online or physical to the welcoming of patients, also to the consultation. So it's a broad range. But we have two kinds of users. Firstly, we have the patients, for sure. And secondly, we have healthcare professionals like doctors and secretaries. Alex, can you please show the first picture I brought?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So for patients, Doctolib is a tool to find the right healthcare practitioners, book medical appointments, and more in the upcoming future. So you can see here on the picture how it looked like at Doctolib.fr, Doctolib.de, Doctolib IT for Italy. You can see that you can find healthcare practitioners and you can find open slot for your medical appointment. And let's go to the picture number 2. So for healthcare practitioners, Doctolib offers great tools to gain time, but also to improve comfort at work, to provide better care to patients, and also to grow their organizations. Just an example. So our booking platform for patients is only working as its best if we provide a smart tool. That's what I just showing here to you. So if I'm explaining that, or if I'm explaining what I do, I often give the picture of a smart Google Calendar because people most know it, but it's tailored for healthcare professionals and their specific needs. So for me as a PM, Doctolib is a perfect place because I see the immediate impact of my daily work, and it will scale more and more over the time in the future. And let's make this statement a bit more precise. If you can provide each doctor, and we have already 150,000 healthcare professionals, and if you can provide each doctor one more minute of medical time each day, instead of 1 minute focusing of admin work, we have a huge positive impact for patients and their health, and ultimately of the quality of life.
Yeah, I will add, Pierre, that basically our vision of healthcare in Doctolib is also to reduce, the gap between the professional and the patient, and to provide a better access to healthcare by providing an easy way to book an appointment, and for practitioner, an easy offer to book an appointment for them, I guess. So this is our vision in Doctolib. And it's not only the calendar and the website. We also have a new generation of products and more to come. So Per mentioned, the website and the calendar, but we also launch medical software. And I guess in the future, we will have a lot of new products to easily provide a better care to patients and to healthcare professionals.
Yeah, lots of fascinating new product lines to come. Sadly, we can't disclose those yet, but yeah. I'm eager to be able to speak about it, like I'm sure you do. Okay, this is a nice overview of our users. To wrap it up, we serve doctors and we help patients to find a fairer access to healthcare. The proportion is interesting because everybody in France knows Doctolib as a tool to book a doctor, but this is a really small amount of what we are doing and trying to do for doctors. So I spent lots of time, like you probably did, to explain it to people that our first goal was to helping medical practitioners to be more efficient, do a better job, and so on. Thank you for sharing on those topics. Okay, let's move to one important topic, which I know, Ludi, it's really important for you, which is user-first mindset.
Yes.
So could you please explain to us, in the first place, how you did become a product manager, please?
Yes. Basically, I became a product manager, I would say by chance, actually. As I mentioned before, I was at the very beginning of Doctolib. Basically, we're only 50 people. Now we're like 1,600 people. And I had this opportunity to start at Doctolib as business developer, basically. And my daily job was to convince doctor that the Doctolib solution was the key for them to improve their their day-to-day life and to provide a better service to patients, basically. And so I was, on a daily basis to convince doctor. And then I said, okay, there is, doctors, but there is also structures like hospitals. So I decided also as a key account manager to convince also hospitals and other care providers basically to work with us. And I have this great opportunity basically because at the very beginning, I spent like 1.5 years within an hospital just to understand what was the patient's workflow, what was the day-to-day of secretaries, of doctors. And it was amazing because I'm not a doctor, so I didn't know so much, how it was working. And I discovered basically that those people needed help, basically, to use better tools, to have better overview, and to work better, to provide better care. So basically, I met hundreds of doctors, secretaries, and hospital administrators, and I found out that they had a lot of issues. And I become product manager because I state, okay, I want to solve those issues. I want to have a big impact in their life. So yeah, I started that way. But I spent 4 years in the field basically before starting as a product manager. And it's not all product managers are not specifically working previously as a business developer or key account manager. I don't know you, Per, but I think you had other experiences to share.
Yes. So I started my professional career as an IT specialist, actually, a long time ago. And I started business, and I was luckily able to combine business with IT when bringing internet to the car. So I started as a product owner back in the days, 2012, and developed into a head of product, having multiple teams. And I learned every fundamentals being a product manager for a lot of years. And I decided in 2017 to step out of Volkswagen to follow an entrepreneurial life and build my own startup in a topic which is more health related. It's something which I realized over the years I'm much more interested in. I learned a lot during this time, also building my own product. And I got the opportunity in January to join Doctolib as a bit more experienced product manager, but coming from a completely different background. So it was really great fun and a great challenge joining a new industry after experienced automotive industry, having this big change towards digitalization and now being fully into the digitalization of healthcare. So I joined in January 2020 an existing feature team as one of the first product managers in Germany, and had basically the same experience, maybe as you mentioned, had to know the users, had to understand what is really the problems we're tackling, what are the problems we can or should tackle next. And all together, this is, I think, always the first and most exciting step you take as a product manager in a new role or in a new company. So thanks. I think, do you have a follow-up, or should we just go?
No, unless Ludi has something to add. I think you made your connection to the field pretty clear. So thank you for sharing that. And I find it, to wrap up, I find it really interesting to know that you're coming, Ludivine, from more a sales background and switched to a product manager position. I think it's one of the interesting thing at Doctolib, which is the ability to shape your career based on what you want to do, when you want to do it. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's focus back on our users. How are you supported in order to have the best user insights regarding their needs, their usage of the product? What is the framework, tools, and practices that Doctolib provides that help you to get that?
Yeah. Obviously, as I mentioned before, I spend a lot of time with users, but now I'm leading several product teams, so I don't have the same time matrix, let's say, to spend all my days with the users. And but one thing I want to mention in Doctolib, we truly believe that healthcare professionals are at the heart of the transformation of the healthcare system, basically. So we have a huge ecosystem of people working with us as product manager. And I must say it's great on a daily basis. To be more concrete, we have a huge team of user researchers helping us on a daily basis to ask the good question, to talk to the users, to do some focus groups with healthcare professionals, and also to organize, let's say, a co-building session with the healthcare professional. So I must say it's a very, very, very good environment to be supported, but also a great team of UX writers, designers, and we also have this product engagement team, basically, that is organizing a lot of great things. For instance, collecting feedback directly from professional in-app of Doctolib, and also animating a great community of healthcare professionals that they are on a daily basis providing us, what we need to do, what we need to improve in our products. So it's very great to have them on board. And also we have a lot of data analysis that is helping us to work. And I think we're going to talk about it, but we also, as product manager, have the responsibility to go on the field on a daily basis. To give you an example, we had a very hard time this year with the COVID situation and that kind of thing, and we had a lot of contacts, direct contacts with all the ecosystem of healthcare. And to give you an example, even our CEO is calling practitioner on a daily basis to know where we go, if we are going on the right direction, and everyone in Doctolib has to have this connection to the field with the support of the team, obviously. But this is our responsibility to understand clearly and closely what are the day-to-day life of our users to be able to help them, I think. Yeah.
We just received a connected question. I think you answered most of it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So it's just to complete if we can complete. This question was asked by Susan. Thank you, Susan. Do you have routines, regular events, or meetings to figure out current user needs? As they might change over time, would be interesting to know how you handle that in your daily work.
Yeah. Okay. So just to answer the daily routine of what we're doing, basically, we have great tools connected to our feedback directly from the field. So basically, on a daily basis, we have all the feedback coming directly on using a chat Slack bot or that kind of thing, and also with the teams, because we need to engage also the developers with us. We have this routine session with developer to listen some calls from practitioner, to engage developers also, to understand what are the specific user needs, and to have the direct feedback, let's say, with them. I don't know if you want to complete, Per, on your side, if you have any other...
Sure. So, I mean, it was very comprehensive. Thank you very much. I just have some more ideas I want to bring in. So first of all, coming from, let's say, from outside and just joined over 1 year ago, it's really great to have such an engaged user base. So I was really surprised, and I'm still amazed how many opportunities for us as product and for our team are there to figure out what is the best decisions and how do we do the best decision making. This is really making my life, making my job much more easier if you have so open and engaged users and clients. And we, for example, have regular sessions with users for all people in Doctolib, actually. So it doesn't matter which department you are, everybody can join and listen to a healthcare professional. It's just explaining his processes, his life, what is he up to, what is maybe a problem, and how he's maybe using Doctolib, and what could be improved. And there's a lot of potential in there from having cross perspectives on it to also gain feedback from all people which work in Doctolib. And on the other side, I want to say that it's not so easy nowadays to go in the practice to do a field trip. Yeah. I mean, we all know this is not only for our business model, but our users are also open to do calls with us and do maybe team viewer session or something where we cannot go to the field, but everybody of the team, not only engineers, but user researchers, of course, but data analysts and designers can join as well and can take part of these discussions.
Yeah.
And nevertheless, then we have we are very close connected to our sales colleagues because they also gain, of course, a lot of insights during their job. Yeah. And just to let me maybe finish with one thing I want to point out at the end is that user first is a core value. And it's something which demonstrates that this is a top level and top management importance for Doctolib.
Thanks. We have a couple of other questions which are remotely related to being user first. So I'm going to share those with you. Those questions are from Saptarshi. Thank you for your questions. First, how do you adapt the product to cater to the admin team, which most doctors have, the front office? So I guess this one is Isabel.
Yeah. Can you repeat the first part of the question?
Yeah.
How do you adapt the product to cater to the admin team, which most doctors have, between parentheses, the front office? So I guess the question is about how did we make sure that our product was interfacing properly with the front office of a medical practice, I guess, or maybe the front office of an hospital. So I guess, how did we work with medical assistants and so on?
Yeah, so I just give one example. And it's out of the world of interoperability. I'm working in mostly. There is always a good chance to help our customers in the front office because they have to take regularly the same processes a lot of times a day. They, for example, have a patient coming to the practice and to the reception. And I think we all know this. You're coming to a practice and you get the same questions of, what is your name? What is your birth date? Maybe can I have your card? And these are processes they have to do very regular, a lot of times a day. And we strive to make this regular processes as easy as possible for our users in terms of seeing that there's a good connection between other software they maybe use in the practice and Doctolib, where the appointments are booked and where we actually have a big impact on. So that they maybe have less clicks, for example. Maybe they have a time spending less time on it. So we are really, really working very close to actually the secretaries and people working in front office. And I don't know the share, but it's not, of course, not only working with doctors. So if we say healthcare practitioners or professionals, they are much more all the people which are working in the organization.
Yeah, and I will add maybe, Per, that secretaries are using our product on a daily basis because basically they are taking some appointments, so they spend like 8 or 10 hours a day in our calendar sometimes. So obviously we needed to co-build the solution with them because that way they have better information and they can provide better service to patients, basically to work on a daily basis. So Yeah, and we have a strong focus with assistant and secretaries. They are the main users. Practitioners are providing care, and secretary and front office, they are providing, the patient interaction. And yeah, we work with them a lot, actually.
Thanks. Second part of Saptarshi's questions. This is really concrete. What are some current use cases you are working on for the German market at the moment?
For you, maybe, Per?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Thank you very much. So as you can imagine, because our users use on a daily basis, most of the time, our very smart calendar product, there's also some additional features which have a great benefit. So for example, if someone actually declines an appointment at a practice, we have some really cool features to offer to have an automated process, for example, that we fill these slots because we want to have the doctors which doing the care process and all these consultations, not having some gaps. So also if this is maybe short notice, we try to help, for example, to always fill all gaps which could be occurring. And you could also imagine that currently we're trying to, not we're trying, but we're finding out what else we can improve all around this. So where are maybe smaller features, where are things that wasn't on the roadmap in the last time, where are things we learn from our users in the daily usage we can improve, just as one part of these products.
Thanks. You spoke about interop earlier. I used to be part of the PMS team working mostly on building interop connectors. This was a huge thing for us in Germany as well, because there is a real strong diversity of PMSs available for all practices, depending on your size, your location, and so on. So huge topic in Germany. Thanks. We got another question from Suzanne. This one is kind of tied to what we were saying earlier. Regarding all the insights you get from your users, do you have specific methods for prioritization of improvement and new features?
Yeah. This is something I want to maybe answer. Basically, in Doctolib, we are working not as a feature factory, but really as a KPI-driven company. So we want to be sure that we are providing the best impact to our users. So I must say there is two parts in our work. Basically, to define the problem of users, to be sure we are doing the right thing. Basically, we are going on the right direction. And next, we are trying to do the thing right, basically to provide the best product. But we have a specific organization because we are like now 42 teams, product teams, and as KPI-driven company, each team has a mission to follow, and specifically a North Star KPI to tackle. So in Doctolib, we are talking about KPI, but in other companies, they talk about OKR, so objective key results. And we have 3 levels of KPI in the company. Basically, where we want to go, what is a company North Star strategic initiative. And each team has this North Star KPI that can be, for example, improve or increase the online booking, for instance. It's an example. And each team have the availability to provide the project they want. You have autonomy as product manager to provide the project you want, but you need to tackle your KPI, basically. And each team has this specific, let's say, equation, mathematical equation, to avoid to have some blind spots, because obviously feedback is is gold and is very precious, but we need to do the right prioritization, on the projects. And to do it, we build each team an equation, and each project is going through this equation to be sure that we are tackling the main project that has a bigger impact in your KPI. Basically, we are using also this is kind of a RICE methodology, specific equation with the reach, the impact, the confidence we have, and the effort, obviously, we have to put in it to deliver the best impact. So, yeah, we are like mathematical and specifically focused on the KPI to be sure we are providing the best solution and the best project to meet the problem needs, basically. So we have this understand the problem with this all supports, all the feedback we collect, and then a very specific and mathematical method to select the right project to go in the right direction that we want to go. I don't know, Per, if you want to add something on this, but
no, it's exactly like this. So maybe we kind of follow-up question if there's something more in depth what you would like to know.
Yeah, I don't know if there.
I think we are good. We'll. Yeah, I got another question, but this one maybe could be answered by a mix of tech and product. I'm going to share it with you, Ludi and Pierre, and just let me know if you would rather feel more confident to answer it in a pair with some people from tech. So we'll keep it for another time if it's the case. So I'm not sure what it's from Pierre Coury. I'm not sure what regulations apply to you, but if any, how do you stay agile and user first while staying compliant? Do you feel frictions between design and quality with engineers caught in between?
I mean, at least what I can answer, or what I would like to answer, that I don't feel friction in this.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, which is, I think, very important. And on the other side, we are very, very, very careful with all the information and all what is there in this industry. And if we're talking about user first and that we really gathering insight with our users, it's something where we have a lot of measures in place. For example, if we want to, in Germany, for example, working with the new PMS, and it's something where we really see and in our ways in consideration with legal and our partners to see that this is all fine and we get confirmations on. So I feel very frictionless and very secure in all this part with the support of all the people which we are working in, actually, and also with our partners within the industry.
Oh, I think we got a follow-up question regarding the equation. That one is from Amy, and Amy is asking, how often do you do this equation? How often do you evaluate that RICE framework?
Basically, RICE is the daily basis tool of the product manager in Doctolib. Basically, we are constantly reworking on it because it's not a picture in one day and then 6 months later we'll see what's going on. No, it's a day-to-day work to constantly ask ourselves, are we choosing the right project? Are we going on the right direction? That's why we don't have like kind of roadmap, like 6 months roadmap or project roadmap. We are constantly changing it. So this is one of the answer. And basically, each team has his North Star KPI. And if you tackle it after, I don't know, 6 months or 3 months, okay, you can ask yourself with obviously the COMEX member, what will be the next project mission, let's say, and what would be the extending equation I want to go through. So let's say daily basis, and on the mission wise, let's say shorter, 3 months. And it depends on the environment. We had a very hard time this year with the COVID situation. So we had to ask ourselves, are we going on the right direction several times? And daily basis, I'd say, on the rise.
I totally agree. And just want to add that we always measure the impact. So this is something which you constantly have to do. It's not only for new projects, but also for the ones you finished 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, or maybe even later, to just reassure what are the outcomes here, what can we learn actually out of that. And this is something which we then can bring into new projects, and also improving how we estimate the rise, for example, like what is the reach impact and all these kind of things, something where we have to constantly learn and improve ourselves on. And because you said equation and like the Messi tree, this is really going more this level up for what Lucy said about the KPI, in Austria KPI. And there we put normally a bit more time in than the daily rise and getting learnings back and measuring are we on right track.
Yeah, and I will add that we don't have any fear about iterate on a specific topic, because we see that we have more impact that we thought. So we decide to iterate on a specific project to tackle and to gain more impact of what we do. So we are asking ourselves on a daily basis, am I going on the right direction with this method?
True.
I think you're mute, Alex.
Thanks, Ludi. Beginner's mistake. I'm going to start that sentence again. We are starting to have more questions from the audience. So I'm going to go through all of them. And if at some point you monetize something we are saying with something we discussed a bit earlier, like agility or else, feel free to go for it. We have a question from Laurent. Do you see cultural differences in the way we are making products in France and Germany? Did you experience some, maybe?
I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. Thank you, Laurent.
I have a very, very easy answer. Actually, yes and no. It's like a typical yes and no answer, just because I see that we are very similar. So I haven't worked in a French company before, and honestly, I enjoy it very much to have this much more stronger bond and to actually learn a lot from our French colleagues and also from the culture. And always have people asking me, how is it working in a French company? I'm like, it's perfect. It's Europe. Yeah, it's not so different. It's actually very, very similar. But I also got told that Doctolib is also special because we are in a high pace, and we constantly question ourselves and want to do things better. So we are very open for feedback and for these kind of things. And I feel that it's not like French or German. It's very individual, like how you are and how you want to work and in which culture, like work culture, do you want to work? And it's more specific than.
I will add that the need of accessing healthcare, it's universal. So basically, as a German people or French people, you need to access to healthcare. You need to find a doctor. That makes a common ground of the products, even if you're in Germany or in France or in Italy. Basically, the need is the same. We need to provide better healthcare to patients and to doctors, basically.
Yeah, and great point. And also, we learn from our French clients and users, and we learn from German and Italian ones, and many more in the future. It just shows that having this in different countries and cultures is also very advantageable for us, because some doctors or specialties or the system maybe you have in a specific country, you can adopt or see things which work good, and you can also we can bring it cross border, and this is great. It's great for us. It's great for our users.
Yeah, definitely. From a tech or a general point of view, if you listen closely to my voice, you may have noticed that I'm coming from France.
No?
No? Oh, thank you. You're flattering me. And the thing is, I never worked before that with a German company. But I must say that I really enjoy the way our culture are entangling themselves into our daily work. That's really an enjoyable thing to me, and it helps us focus on what really does matter. So happy about that. Okay, another question from Veronica. You seem to focus a lot on the professional users. What about your other user group, patients? Are there teams who put these users first, or are all features basically for professionals first?
I don't know, Per, if you want to answer, but just to give you some, basically, yeah, we are organized like by domain, and we obviously have also the patient and virtual care domain.
Yeah.
And they are focusing on the daily basis on patient workflows, behavior, and needs. Actually, our clients are the practitioners. It's free for patients, and we are all patients. But obviously, we are also doing some user research on patients. We are sending them some, feedbacks and that kind of thing to meet also the patient group's needs. So, yeah, I don't know if you have something else to add, but
I would just, please go ahead, Alex.
I could add a few things because I worked quite some time in the VC domain, the virtual care domain. Patients are not second zone citizen at Doctolib. Our main official mission is to help and enhance the life of healthcare professionals, but patients as well. We built a lot of things only for patients. It's not a happy drive-by side effect that we are happy to unleash to the world. We're working on this as well. Obviously, the motivation behind that is if we manage to help people, we serve our mission better. The relation between healthcare professional and patient is even better, and everything is going to be more smooth in the end. So that's it.
Yeah, and I will add that we found out that there is no concrete patient health management. So we want to provide also that kind of thing to help people own their own health and be able to act as very autonomous way as a patient to collect all information regarding their own health and to have access to their documentation basically on the from the practitioner.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we are almost at time. It's 46. Ludi, Pierre, how many time do you have for me still? 5 minutes? 1 minute?
No, 5 minutes. Yeah, I have
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for 5 minutes, and thank you for extending that. We are going to go through the audience questions. Okay, how do we tackle the situation, at least in Germany, that the buyer of your product is a doctor, but the actual user is the assistant working at the front desk? Whose need do you prioritize higher?
So easy answer from my side is that the doctor or maybe the owner of the practice has a normally very high need that his employees and colleagues working in the best way they can and in a very efficient way. So for me, this is not something obviously to separate, by the way. So the decision maker in the practice or hospital, they're looking for a solution which provides most value for the users. And altogether, I think is normally the way we look at that.
Yeah, and I will add in France, for instance, that very often the practitioner is delegating the decision to the secretary or front office. So we needed to convince the secretary first because he trusts the secretary, basically.
Thanks. Another question from Ami, and I think after that I'm going to have to let you go. How can you convince company management that loves long-term roadmaps how to calm down about the long-term roadmaps? This one, I guess, is mostly for Ludi, since you had both of it in the commercial part of the company and the product part. How would you manage expectations of a client?
I'm not sure. Basically, as we co-build the solution with the practitioner and maybe sometimes with the hospital, we are providing a lot of transparency about where we're going and what we're doing, basically. So we just explained that sometimes we will provide, product news, and we communicate on very expected features. But as Per mentioned before, we have very strong, engaged clients, and basically they are just because we have done a lot this year for them, just to improve their life and to make it easier. So it created a kind of collaboration deeper with them. And we don't have to convince them, actually, because we are doing the best we can. And we don't have some too much pressure, let's say, from the field or company, because they know that we are doing the best and they trust us as from now. So, yeah.
Definitely. And there's also the chance for our users to request whatever ideas or solution they have in mind with our community, which is a really strong asset, getting the information right away and also having the possibility to vote on it, which brings us in the situation that we actually can question and ask, or actually our users ask if others have the same solution in mind or benefit, which makes it for us more easy to also prioritize roadmaps.
Thank you so much for sharing all you said about those topics. I know that Ludi has a hard stop at some point, so I think this is the end of today's session. I would really like, Ludi and Pierre, thank you about your time and what you shared with us today. I'd love as well to thank the audience today. You provided us really interesting questions, and I hope to cross you in other sessions to discuss more about lots of other things we'd love to share about. You'll be able to watch a replay of this session on the Doctotech Live YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to our meetup.com page. We'd be more than happy to have you with us later on. Next session is going to happen on the 28th of April, and is going to be about onboarding new developers remotely in a tech company. So for this one, I'm going to be speaking with an engineering manager and a developer of Doctolib who work on those transverse topics. Don't forget to check out doctolib.engineering. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Thank you
everyone.
very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.